Phenomenal Monday. I hope you're having. My name is Mauricio Garcia, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Conquistador Podcast. Before we get into the topic today, I think is not only is a very interesting topic, but it's a topic that the host of this show, the co-host of this show, my friend, mentor, and partner, Mr. Hubert Humphrey, has a lot to say. Because when it comes to dreams, that's his area of expertise. So let's bring him right in. Hubert, how are you today? Good Monday.
I'm doing great, buddy, and let's just call this Dream Week. This is if they're not already dreaming, we got to wake them up, because if you're not dreaming, that means you don't have the vision. That means you don't have your eye on any new goal, or you're not vision stretched. It means a lot of different things. It means you're not going to get where you want to be without dreaming. You've got to have the courage. The word dare to dream, I think you said dare to dream.
Yep.
Dare means you got to have the courage to do something. Dare means it may be uncomfortable. It could be dangerous. It could be a little uncertainty out there. And a lot of people are afraid to get out of their comfort zones and dare to dream. And there's some people out there who've dared to dream before, and they've got to life's kind of beat them up, and they got knocked down, and they just don't want to try it again. And
yep.
But you can't. The alternative is just unacceptable. You know, you got to dare to dream. So I'm looking forward to talking more about that on this show and future shows.
Yeah, of course. You've been through 40 years of entrepreneurship. You even came up with the whole a phrase there of driven, determined dreamers, emphasis dreamer. Right? You're saying, hey, in previous shows you said, you know how we beat Prudential? You know how we beat New York Life at their own game and just within a decade? It's because while they were selling insurance, we were selling dreams. That's why I say, but what are we dream dead? What have you seen over the last 4 decades? What's happening in this country with people in general?
Well, I throw myself into the deal and people in general. I look back. Most everything I know about anything is what I've looked back in my own life at various stages of my life, from the time I was a little boy all the way to now, different cycles of my life. I think I've probably experienced something pretty common to most anybody's cycle at any given time out there. And I remember there were parts of my life where I was probably dream dead, or certainly dream immature. I didn't know the power of dreaming, and I just sort of was just riding along. Then there were times when all of a sudden I'd get excited about life, and I would be a dreamer. I remember when I got about 13, 14 years old, man, my dream machine kicked in as a teenager. Now, I never did accomplish very much with it, but boy, I was dreaming about wanting to be somebody, and I was going to be a rock and roll star, and I wanted to. Because I came up in the era when rock and roll was just beginning, and the Little Richard, and Elvis Presley, all that era was starting, and boy, that was just a cool thing, man. I wanted to be somebody. Well, I never did become a rock and roll star, but it did influence me down the road when I got into the people business and into the selling the dream business, and started getting up on the stage and being in front of people who were listening to me and would give applause, and I'd get recognition. So I got to live out my fantasy that from when I was a teenager, that dreaming paid off years later, many years later, in a whole different world, a whole different field, some 20, 25 years after I went through that phase. So dreaming is big time in anything in your life. It's gonna keep you moving forward. It causes, if you're dreaming, you're growing. If you're not dreaming, you're sort of dying. It's we the green. I use the word green and dream here together. Like Ray Kroc says, when we're green, we're growing. When we're ripe, we rot. You know, we've got to stay dreaming. Dare to dream. I love that word dare, because it takes courage to dream. Because a dream, when you're dreaming, you've got to put yourself out there. You got to publicly let other people know your intentions. You got to let somebody else that you're going to be affecting, that's going to be joining you. They've got to be able to know that you're dreaming, and you've got to make it known. And sometimes people say, listen, I'm just going to secretly dream. I'm not going to let anybody know I'm doing this in case I don't make it. Well, now you'll never make it. That's a false narrative to think that way. Have the courage. Don't worry about what non-dreamers think about you when you're dreaming. Just remember that little thing. Don't ever let anybody else steal your dream, hold your dream back, control your dream, limit your dream, or just cause you to not go for it in life. And I don't care whatever endeavor that is. It's all about dreaming. And you're right. When we were building the A.L. Williams business from the ground up, starting at 30 people. We were selling dreams. That was A.L. Williams sold more insurance than anybody else, but it was because we sold more dreams than anybody else first. And that's what built our distribution network. And a part of the dream was being able to take care of your own, become a product of the product, being able to, all of those 1.5 million recruits that were recruited, they became clients. They had a better financial situation now than they'd ever had before because they bought the right products and concepts. Yeah. In addition to being able to build a career, and some of them, a lot of them faded away, but most of them made a little part-time income. Some made full-time, new careers. A bunch of them became wealthy, and it's and that's not just back then, but it did in the second company, World Marketing Alliance, which is now World Financial Group Transamerica. And then our third big company here, HGI, Hegemon Group International. That's all we're doing. Our leadership format system is the same, the building of the same, the leadership's the same, still selling dreams. The dreams today are just bigger and bigger and bigger. That's where we're at now. I love it. Hey, if you're going to be selling a dream, a lot of companies out there use the word dream, and they're always selling the dream. And you join this company and that company and all these networking type deals floating around out there. Right. But it sounds good. You're selling people dreams, but very few of the dreams come true. I love being in financial services. I love being in the businesses we've been in because by far the chances for a dream to come true in our business is much greater than in most of them selling the small ticket items. We're marketing financial products that are more powerful. There's a lot more money. There's a lot more things can be done with those products, and they're much more important to the consumer, and certainly the economic benefits to the entrepreneurs that are out there dedicating their careers part-time or full-time to it have a better chance to win. If I'm gonna be in the business of selling dreams, I want to be at a place where dreams really do come true, and that's HGI.
Very, very powerful. I mean, and to prove the point is the value add is so significant, and that's why it becomes the best platform for anybody trying to build a dream. Now, it's a couple of things to kind of begin to wrap it up today on this Dare to Dream topic. Is that if there's something that we have in common as human beings, I believe, is trying to better the lifestyle, right? Every day we go to work, all the sacrifices that we all make is to improve our current situation, right? But when it's time to go to that next level, I was thinking while you were saying, we recruited 1.5 million people in the A.L. Williams days and hundreds of thousands in the WMA days. It's one leader. So it takes a few leaders to be able to wake up some people and give them or ignite the courage necessary to go out and pursue the dreams. Because out of these 2 million, 3 million people, if we sum it up together, maybe more, where maybe they had the dream, but they were kind of dreaming, sleeping. It required somebody to wake them up. Would that be a true statement or no? Because
it would. The whole key was just when we say build leaders and teams will come. What we're saying is build dream leaders, and who will sell a lot of dreams and get a lot of their people awake and keep them focused and awakened and pursuing a dream. And dreaming is a skill that needs to be learned. It's not something you automatically just wake up and you're able to have great dreams that are going to accomplish something. You have to. It's a skill set that can be learned. Trust me.
Okay.
My little dreams that I had when I was a little teenage boy, the dreaming that I did when I was on the railroad trying to break away from the railroad. After the first 4 years, I woke up out of my dream dead coma, and my dreams were I wanted to find a way to get away from the railroad, and I pursued it for the next 13 years, and I finally escaped when the right vehicle came along. But by then, I had a lot more energy behind my dream, a lot more frustration fueling my dreams, a lot more courage and to escape. All that was building up, which is important. And by then my IQ was growing a little bit. I was more intelligent. I'd learned a lot more, but I also knew a lot more about what a dream. Dream wasn't some nebulous, flaky word. I gave a definition one time on one of our shows about vision is when you open your eyes and let your future come in. And it's really the same definition for a dream. A dream is nothing but having a vision. Your vision of what you can become is the dream we're setting. That's really what the word really means. Dreaming is a vision stretching capability which can be developed and learned, and you can. And the more your vision is stretched, the bigger your dream, the more your desire level grows, because now you see something bigger and more clear and better, and that desire builds up in it. And so it's an important process. I don't care if you're pursuing a degree in college, or if you've got some job trying to fight for a promotion, or if you got some business you're trying to start, or whatever. It's going to take some vision stretching / dreaming to get you there, and that's the fuel. I mean, we talk about our leadership format system. We talk about all the things we've done with these companies, but every one of them ran on high octane motivation, which only came by vision stretching / dreaming. Once the dream starts, the motivation increases. The fuel to run the machine just drives us forward in life. And I'm just a product of a guy that just keeps on dreaming, and no matter what the obstacle is, the one thing I'm not going to let somebody do till the day I leave this earth, and hopefully it can go on through some eternal existence, which would be wonderful. I'm just not going, something as precious as dreaming, I'm just never going to stop doing it. I did it when I was young. I'm doing it when I'm a whole lot older. And I'll be doing it to the last day.
That's a great message, and I want to personally publicly here tell you that I admire that. I wish that when I'm in my 70s, if I get to that I have the same energy and the same passion to continue to dream. I don't want to be thinking about retirement at 65. I think it's overrated. But that's just personally.
Well, when you left that battery, that little phone battery company, that was your retirement. You retired from mediocrity, and I don't think you'll ever have to retire again.
And it's felt that way, honestly. It's like we work all day, and as long as you're working in something that you're passionate about, and you're pursuing a bigger dream, it really feels like retirement.
I remember the day I walked into the train master's office down in Macon, Georgia. I went downtown, not to the old railroad yard where I'd always have to go, but I went to the headquarters where management was, and I didn't like them. They didn't like me because I was one of the local chairmen, and I gave them fits because I was so miserable being on the railroad that if I was going to be miserable, I was going to make them miserable too, and I was always talking about I'm going to leave. I was always looking for this deal and that deal. I tried a lot of different things, but one thing that really probably helped me get out of the railroad, now that I think about it again, is that I told those railroad guys that, man, hey, you watch me. I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life here. And I would tell them that. And everybody kind of knew it. And I'd try this, and I'd look at this, and I'd try that, and I'd talk. And they would always, a lot of them laughed at me. A lot of them made fun of me. It was just kind of funny. And then as I was in Amway, man, that really was the joke. You know, here's Hubert. He's selling that soap stuff out there. He's going to make drink. Anyway, one day I'm gone, and they still ain't figured out where I went. But it was the same guy that they didn't think they would ever get out. And part of them knew that I was crazy enough to maybe do it, and they didn't really want me to leave. It's like when you got these crabs in a basket, and one of them tries to climb out, the rest of them going to reach up and pull them back. Yeah. That was what was happening to me in life. But I was talking about retirement. I walked into the trainmaster's office. Mr. Wyndham, Mr. Carlton Wyndham, was the Gestapo of the railroad, buddy, and. I went in there, and he said, "Well, what are you doing in here?" Because most railroad guys never went in there. He thought I was there as a local chairman going to complain about something. I said, "I'm here to let you know some important information." He said, "What's that?" I said, "I quit." So basically, I gave him my retirement speech with 2 words: "I quit." Turned around, walked out the door, never saw him ever again. And I don't know what he said after that. All I know is I just was never there again. But that was my retirement speech.
Nothing's more powerful than a made up mind, and you've made up your right. mind. You're going, and then that is very powerful when you do that with the full intention.
I burned all the ships. I had there was no going back, man. I was going to win or die, right? With whatever I was going to go out and make out of myself, but I had found financial services and marketing and all that came together at this perfect storm. And even then, even being in the right place at the right time in the right deal, if you don't keep dreaming, I've saw a lot of people join us in A.L. Williams. I saw a lot of people get in there that first year or two with us, a couple of thousand people. Mm-hmm. A lot of them never dreamed enough. I've seen guys get in every one of our big companies. Even today, we got people that join us today, but they just don't get in there and do the dream. So just joining our company is not going to do it. You got to get in there and dream and drive your own self. You got to pump your own gas here, okay?
No, absolutely. But what I get from this conversation is also that there's actually no lack of dreamers. There's actually a lot of people that are dreaming. Maybe there's crisis. The crisis is probably in leadership. That is probably the lack of
the
leadership.
The reason why there's so many lost dreamers out there is there's such a shortage of us leaders that are out there showing them the way, taking our lanterns and our lights and showing them the pathway to a better way. That's all it is in life. And you get in here and be one of those leaders. Now that's where you get to really be successful. Okay.
That's a great message. Let's wrap it up with that, Hubert. Great conversation today. And guys, if you're listening right now, if I know you have a dream, that's probably one of the things we have in common. We may have many things that we, ways of thinking, religious affiliations, whatever, political. But one thing we have in common is we want the best things for our families. We want to better our life. I know that for a fact. And
hey, Mauricio.
Yes.
What distinguishes the human being on this earth from all the other animals on this earth that's ever been on this earth or ever will be on this earth is that there's a lot of differences. But one is that we have the ability to dream. That is a unique thing to our
and let's take advantage of that. Like Hubert said earlier, if you want to be involved in the vehicle, in the opportunity, in the industry, in the team, proximity is very powerful. And if you come close to people that have really been there, done it, know what they're doing, know where they're going, your chances of success grow exponentially. So you have the opportunity to have proximity with the leadership team that's built 2 multi-billion-dollar market cap companies in the industry that's about to get better than ever before. It's actually better, and it's going to get better because we're not going to get into that. Demographics, inevitability, just everything that is going on right now is actually making this opportunity better than ever before.
The market for the products that we market through our outlets is growing at such an exponential speed that no matter how fast we grow our company and how many recruits we can get through social media or whatever we're getting it, we can't even begin to keep pace with the exponential growth of the market. I've never seen a business. And this is not a business. This is not a fad. It's not something that just came lately. It'll burn out shortly. No.
Right.
It was this way for 40 years ago. It'll be 10 times bigger, 10 or 15 or 20 years from now.
I just wish people, give themselves the opportunity. Because when I heard you speak about demographic inevitability, and I heard you speak about the things it's like you took a fold off my eyes and help me see how some of these decisions that are made, even from the political standpoint, the economic decisions, all these things are actually making this opportunity much bigger than that. And I hope people come close here to the fire, like I always say, and learn about why this is the greatest opportunity they would get involved into if they want to have the highest chance for success. And I want to invite you to go to HCI Opportunity. Go there now, check it out, listen to a 15-minute presentation, right to the point, short and sweet, about why this is the best deal that is out there in America today. That is hgiopportunity.com. As always, Hubert, thank you so much for the value added to this podcast. We will see you tomorrow. And to all of you listening, do not forget to share. Do not forget to comment. And do not forget to like. It really makes a big deal for us. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you.
Warning, this podcast may change the way you think about business, entrepreneurship, and money forever. The Conquistador Podcast was created for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who want to conquer their future. To be an epic entrepreneur, you must adopt the right mental paradigms as well as master the art of selling, marketing, and finance.